If Donald Trump got a PhD, what would his philosophy be? What is the thesis of the dissertation of his political existence? I can't answer this completely, and I don't know that anyone has an answer. But when I'm stuck on a problem, I like to try to break it into chunks, and philosophy traditionally is broken into the chunks of metaphysics, epistemology, and ethics. Are there other ways to slice up philosophy? Absolutely. We're philosophers. Philosophers love slicing up problems in lots and lots and lots of different ways. But clear thinking often does come from breaking a problem into its smallest component parts. So we're going to not focus on his metaphysics, not focus on his ethics, and just ask the question, what is Trump's epistemology? Philosophers have our own special peer-reviewed Wikipedia called the Stanford Encyclopedia of Philosophy. It's a place where you can find authoritative information about the discipline of the field of philosophy. Epistemology is the study of knowledge itself. It comes from Greek, as you can see here, in episteme, which means knowledge, can be translated lots of different ways. People have been asking epistemic questions for millennia. Plato, Kant, Locke, Russell. You might be familiar with the, like everyone's familiar with the I think, therefore I am. Epistemically speaking, it is a justified true belief that you know that you exist via Descartes' reasoning. There are other kinds of epistemology that are newer, that are not pictured, not all the way depicted in this article. One of them is called standpoint epistemology. Standpoint theorists believe that our knowledge of things is a function of our position in society. A white person in America doesn't have epistemic access to the lived experience of a black person in America. Same thing can be said for a man and a woman in America. I might know as a fact that women feel fear walking at night, but I don't have epistemic access to that experience. Standpoint theory is an epistemology that gives us a framework for understanding what kinds of things we are justified in knowing for sure. Are we getting there? Differently put, where ethics asks the question, what is right or wrong, epistemology asks the question, what is true or false, and metaphysics is asking the question, what is. But we're not going to talk about that right now. Philosophy of religion and other deeper metaphysical things we're not going to have time for in this little video. I would submit that Trump's epistemology is relativism. Relativism as a theory of knowledge is the belief that you cannot know anything that is true, and it's defined in a weak way and a strong way. Weakly is the belief that not that you can't handle the truth, but that you can't access the truth. And strongly is the belief that there is no truth at all. Some people think that you can't access the truth out of a sense of humility because it is difficult to learn stuff, and knowledge is power, but knowledge is hard to come by and takes effort. Some people also think that you can't access the truth out of a sense of tolerance. Remember what we said before about standpoint theory and standpoint epistemology and how your perspective on the world is different from other people's perspective on the world and might have its own sort of intrinsic validity that we're now starting to creep into postmodernism, but I don't want to introduce more jargon before the video ends. We asked the question at the beginning of this video, what is Trump's philosophy? What specifically is his epistemology, his theory of knowledge? The strong form of relativism, the belief that there is no truth, comes in two forms. One form is nihilism, which is almost a metaphysics, and I can't get into depth on. Pester me in the comments if you want to hear more about. And the second is dominance. Not that knowledge is power in the form of energy to do things better for the world, but knowledge is power in the Nietzschean will to power sort of sense, that history is written by the victors, and if you can just overpower someone, then you have the power to create truth itself. That seems to me to be the most plausible understanding of Trump's epistemology. Hair-splitting technicality to end on, in 1967, Dr. King did actually critique this understanding of Nietzsche in his speech, Where Do We Go From Here? He argues that Christians misunderstand Nietzsche, but I can't get into it in this video. You gotta like and follow for more. Influencer things, Patreon things, click the buttons, share, like, subscribe, comment. I don't know. Do the things, hit the buttons. I would like to keep making more videos like this. Thanks for watching.